Hey, welcome to the project. Tonight, what the Norfolk is going on? How a tiny Aussie island got dragged into a Trump tariff brawl, all because of its name.
Liam Neeson's new movie is the reboot you never saw coming, but definitely need to see. We'll show you why.
Cannot wait. And Robert Irwin, like you've never seen him before, but I have plenty of times in my head. The photo shoot that's winning hearts and losing minds.
Ooh, and from Cork Island to selling out shows in the US, and now the project desk. Singer-songwriter Darren Kiely joins us.
We're live from the lands of the Kulin Nation. We're so glad she's back. Sharon Goodell becoming part of the team. Well, old mate's off racing in an amazing way. And Susie Youssef, hello. Sparkling, radiant.
So happy to be here.
Georgie must be doing amazing things in that amazing race.
I know, but I would have thought Millsy would have dragged her down. Who knows?
I know. I want a Friday off. Bring
Sounds
it back.
Good.
Come on.
Start racing.
Well, let's get into today's top stories. About $500,000 has been stolen from a handful of members in a coordinated cyber attack on Australian superannuation funds. Australian Super, the nation's biggest retirement fund, was breached. Several other funds were also compromised. It's believed stolen passwords were used to target members' accounts.
I know it is easier to remember the same password, you just use it, but it also means that it's heavenly for the cyber criminals. If they can get into one system, they will get into every system that you essentially use.
Peter Dutton and Anthony Albanese were all smiles today as they crossed paths on the campaign trail in Western Sydney. Earlier, the PM scored a rock star's welcome at a primary school, but his fans are all too young to vote on his offer of a 12-month extension to the $20,000 instant asset write-off for small business. The Coalition's promised to increase it to $30,000 and make it permanent.
We think $20,000 is a fair amount. We have to balance up our fiscal responsibility.
What they've done now by flipping it temporarily to $20,000 is to try and patch up a problem of their own making.
Yeah, we saw a grab there of Albo at his press conference, sponsored by the Daily Telegraph, but that didn't mean he wasn't afraid to give them a bit of a whack with this zinger.
The Daily Telegraph first, even though you, yeah.
Yeah, they're a bit... Yeah. Went down a treat with the crowd to the point where he's now announced his debut at the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. Check it out.
Oh, look, I wish I could go to the pub with my mates without anyone else, or with any of you. The day after May the 3rd is, of course.
May the 4th be with you.
Toto, in fact, thinks that little rabbit is actually a Toto symbol. He's a Star Wars nerd, this guy. Laughing right here.
You two will be out of a job soon.
Oh, my God. But his big closer as he falls off the stage. It's so funny. So funny.
Well, as Trump's tariffs snatch the world's attention, Aussie pollies are asking what now? So with global markets in free fall, are we able to isolate ourselves from America?
Tariffs are a cost on the country that's imposing them.
The Prime Minister could have been dealing with the United States from January.
Shots fired as Albo and Dutton respond to Trump's tariffs, all as global share prices tumble. Australia's ASX closing down just over 2%. America's S&P 500 down almost 5%. The Nasdaq down a full 6%. The stock market slump slashing the wealth of the 500 richest people on the planet by more than 330 billion Australian dollars, including Elon Musk, who lost more than 17 billion in 24 hours.
Tariffs are a tax on consumers, and I'm not a fan of jacking up taxes on American consumers.
Worst case scenario is that the administration says, no, we're simply going to stick with these tariffs.
The only one not worried, the president himself.
I think it's going very well. It was an operation, like when a patient gets operated on, and it's a big thing. I said this would exactly be...
Today, Trump's Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick launching a fresh attack on our beef farmers.
Australia won't let us sell beef. Why?
Hormonal chemicals.
Yeah, no, that's not why. It's because they want to just protect. I know, they want to say, come on, this is nonsense. This is all nonsense.
But while the Trump administration is defiant, The rest of the world stands united.
A trade war is in nobody's interest, in my view.
We are naturally disappointed.
Our old relationship of steadily deepening integration with the United States is over.
Well, with us is the least terrified man on the planet, Steve Clemens. Steve, I reckon I understand as much about tariffs as I do about how Donald Trump's hair actually works, which means I'm rather confused. So what on earth is going on?
Look, Donald Trump is doing exactly what he told the world he was going to do. He loves tariffs. He's putting tariffs on every nation in the world. Everybody's got a tariff if they want to do business in the United States. And right now, he's just scared the world, scared Americans, scared members of Congress, got a lot of people upset with him. But right now, he's just feeling really good because he's fulfilling his campaign promises.
Well, those markets, they are in free fall. What's the reaction from the American people? Are they buying what Donald Trump is selling at the moment?
I think there's a lot of frustration. I've talked to a lot of people in the last day, Democrats and Republicans, independents, really big supporters of Donald Trump who were so frustrated and they were caught off guard. Some of the top business CEOs that were very supportive of Donald Trump never thought he would go this far. So they are in disbelief and in shock.
So, Steve, does the average American now understand that tariffs mean their prices are going to go up? And if so, do they even care?
Well, they do now, and I think they absolutely do care. We have a lot of new polls out that are showing originally in January, they thought Donald Trump's strong suit, the thing he was best at, was managing the economy. And they thought they trusted him way more than Kamala Harris, way more than the Democratic Party in managing the economy. That is flipped now, and they now have major concerns that they don't believe Donald Trump is as good as they thought in managing the economy. And they're watching their 401ks, their retirement savings, take huge hits. And so right now you've got a lot of people coming into retirement. You also have anxiety in the job place, and their savings have now been gut punched by Donald Trump's tariff obsessions. This is the dumbest mistake that any president of the United States has made in a century.
Well, Steve, thank you very much for trying to make some sense of all of that for us tonight. We do thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I don't know how much anyone's aware of this, but one of the places that was hit with one of the tariffs in a very you get a tariff, you get a tariff, you get a tariff, was Norfolk Island here in Australia, which exports nothing. So I don't know what they have to give away, but we're going to be crossing to the administrator of the island to get some sort of insight on it later. I hope, unlike some of the people that Trump referenced earlier, because sometimes, people go through surgery and once they come out of surgery, they've come out of surgery. It seemed like... It's almost like as he was saying it, his brain, sometimes when they come out of surgery and there's they die, they lose a limb, they slowly bleed to death. And his brain is trying to filter all that out. And he just went to surgery and then trailing off into the distance.
Do you think he understands himself?
He doesn't understand a word he's saying. He's just happy that he has speech.
All right, well, time for a break. We'll see you on the other side. Welcome back. This is The Project.
Well, Aunty Ruth Hegarty is a survivor of the stolen generations, and at 95, her Gungari voice is louder than ever. She has 154 descendants and has spent a lifetime fighting for justice, and now her story is being shared in new ways to ensure people don't just remember, but learn from the past. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people should be aware that this piece may contain images, voices or names of deceased persons. Around 170 kilometres from Brisbane lies Cherbourg, a place with a dark history. Once a government-controlled settlement, thousands of First Nations people were sent here, including Aunty Ruth Hegarty, who arrived at just 6 months old.
It really was a prison. Every minute of the day you were controlled. You might have only got hit once, but crikey, that was sufficient enough.
Families were torn apart, children forbidden from speaking to adults, and those at the mission punished simply for being Aboriginal.
I did not know I had a tribe. I did not know I had a father. I did not know who my relatives were. No one tells you anything. This is me in the picture. This is our Sunday school picture. These are all dormitory girls in the back. 54 tribes they brought down. They would be taken from their own families out near their tribes. These little girls and boys, it was terrible to watch them. I feel sad because we've lost so much. Every one of them would have been taken off their parents. They don't know why. None of us knew why.
When Aunty Ruth was 4, her mother was sent away to work.
I sat there waiting for her. And as it got dark, I kept calling out, "And where are you?" And then you heard the voice, "Is that you, Ruthie? If you don't get to bed, we'll put you in a dark room." I don't think I cried because no one cries at the dormitory.
For 2 decades, Aunty Ruth knew no freedom. She worked as a domestic servant and raised 8 children. But after the 1967 referendum, she was finally granted permission to leave Cherbourg, and that's exactly what she told her husband Joe she wanted to do.
I said, "We're leaving Cherbourg. There's no jobs for our children. You either come with us or you stay here. I am going with my children."
The family moved to Brisbane, and while balancing raising children and ensuring they went to school, Aunty Ruth became a fierce campaigner for Indigenous rights.
I had no idea that the government was taking that money from us. I couldn't believe that anybody could take something from us that we had worked for. I decided then that that would be my thing. I marched for that. I led the marches. I did, and I'm still involved with it.
She was a driving force in the stolen wages movement and has spent her life raising awareness of the lasting effects of government policies on First Nations families. She's also written 2 memoirs.
I remember Joe saying to me one day, "Why don't you write a story about yourself, your life in the dormitory? Your children don't know anything about you." I said, "Good idea. I could start that."
A stage adaptation of Aunty Ruth's autobiography, Is That You, Ruthie?, recently sold out at QPAC in Brisbane, but the creators wanted to ensure the community at the heart of the story could experience it too.
Oh my God, this is going to be a beautiful photo.
Inside a sports hall turned performance space, people from across Mergen and Cherbourg gathered.
I think it's important as Indigenous people where we can bring stories back to the grassroots, back home. It's all about educating our young people, black and white, that this happened in our past. What are we doing to change our future?
But day by day, time passed. The rules, the drills, the bells in the morning.
She turns 96 this year. She's still with us, and she's as smart as a tack and more energy than all of us. And it's been awesome to see her at, nearly every performance that we do.
Our generation had all the stories, all the memories, and if we haven't written them down, it's lost. Australia is changing, and if we haven't noticed it, where have we been? My children are married to whites, and when you marry into an Aboriginal family, you're related to everybody. It just brings families together. That's what happens.
Aunty Ruth, who now has great-great-grandchildren and 24 awards to her name, says she has never taken her freedom for granted and knows once she's gone, her name will live on.
They will remember me. I've done such a lot of work. This is my 96th year. What do I have to complain about? I've got everything.
What an incredible lady. It must be so hard for her to keep reliving what happened to her and her family. And yet she spent a lifetime educating us about, what went on in our past.
It's as Leah Purcell said there, the educating is such a part of it, and incredible for Aunty to be saying, what do I have to complain about, with so much that was taken away. And hers is just one of so many stories that have happened in this country that is all part of the truth-telling that we need to have to move forward as a nation.
So beautiful, just that gentle voice and that incredible calmness after a life of turmoil. Yeah, it just makes you want to cry.
And how good does she look for 95?
Yeah,
she's
not
incredible. Well, you're watching The Project. Back after this. This is The Project.
And this is a glass of water. We all know stuff. This weekend, I spat on myself.
move over here.
That's what you get for being a dick. This weekend, it's movie madness. So brace yourselves for a particularly unhinged instalment of...
Rove's Reels.
Desperately want your kids to take a break from playing Minecraft? Well, get them off their screen and into the cinema for a Minecraft movie.
Welcome to the overworld.
Anything you can dream about here, you can make.
When a group of misfits are pulled through a portal to a cubic world, they must somehow master it to get back home. Luckily, expert crafter Steve, played by Jack Black, is there to help stop the bad guys.
This guy is such a tool bag.
If they get their way, this beautiful world and everything in it will wither and die.
With square pigs, square zombies, and a regular-shaped Jason Momoa wearing a wig and fingerless gloves, if you think this movie will help you understand the actual Minecraft game better, you are dead wrong.
They want me to fight the chicken?
Chicken jockey.
Yeah, it's a chicken jockey taking out Aquaman. Like I said, just go with it. Next up is the not-so-family-friendly Novocaine No Pain.
So, what's your deal?
I'm just a regular guy with a regular job, but I've got this condition where I don't feel pain.
When his dream girl is taken hostage, Nathan Kane turns that inability to feel pain into a superpower and hunt down the guys that took her.
So those are definitely third degree, so you're gonna want to run it under some cool water.
Jack Quaid brings the charm to this brutal action hero journey that would even have Deadpool and Wolverine wincing.
What the is that?
Ooh, I can relate. I've also got a pretty high pain threshold, especially when... Ow! Paper cut! Don't use that bit. To wrap up this week's Twisted Trifecta, allow me to fetch Dogman.
What if we sew the dog's head onto the man's body? Great idea!
When a police officer and his good boy get injured on the job, a life-saving surgery Frankensteins them together to make a super cop.
Dogman! This super cop made friends, solved crimes, and even plays piano for the old folks.
Yeah, thanks Australia's own Isla Fisher. But this super cop man also gets up to doggy mischief like chasing squirrels, playing fetch, and...
Why do you always gotta lick the... It's out of my mouth!
Ugh, I know, pretty gross, right? Unless it's consensual, of course. And that was...
Rove's Reels.
I don't think you've been subjected to that yet.
I have not seen that yet, no.
No, okay. Welcome to the project.
Watch it again.
Welcome to the project. Yes, I think you were right in saying are the Easter holidays coming soon?
I figured that might be the case, yes.
But also a big gift drop today. No, not just a sneak preview of the first clip from Superman, which is on its way.
Okay.
But also Paramount Pictures set to release a Naked Gun reboot.
I didn't know about this.
I know, right?
Surely you can't be serious.
I can be serious. Please don't call me Shirley.
Okay, no worries.
For those of you who are too young to remember, here is what we are in for.
Multiple SWAT units responding to hostage situation.
Hey, little girl, stop.
What do you want, little one?
Your ass.
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the police.
Who are you?
Frank Drebin, Police Squad. The new version. Hi, Daddy. It's me, Frank Jr. Love you.
Hey, Dad. Boy, do I miss you.
Sound of the police.
I mean, so good.
Oh my gosh.
Is there a
Liam Neeson.
beaver in it?
Well, I just had it stuffed. Thank you for noticing. I mean, if all these references are lost to you, the Naked Gun franchise, just a world supply of dad jokes, and somehow they got Liam Neeson to say yes to this film.
And they're still funny.
I cannot wait.
Yeah,
Check out the old ones. Get ready for the new. This is going to be brilliant.
You're watching The Project. Back after this. Talk about taking a walk on the wild side. Robert Irwin's made his debut as a Bonds underwear model, showing off his six-pack with a python around his neck. He was also snapped with a spider, a very large lizard and a second huge snake, all while posing in his jocks. I didn't write this. It's part of a new campaign aimed at selling undies to the Americans, and he does look good.
Sharon, you are a shade of blush I've not seen you in right now.
I've never seen Robert Irwin like that before.
Honestly,
he's actually got the khaki gear on.
I have a couple of things
Not
to
in my
admit.
mind.
First of all, I started following Bonds Australia this morning on Twitter. And also, I used to have a phobia of snakes. Not anymore.
Someone actually said to me, "Did you notice the spider on his shoulder?" And I'm like, "Wait, there's animals in these photos?"
It's
I had no idea.
very big snake.
This is a stitch up. Look at that. Can we just hold on that a little bit more? A little bit more. There we go.
But I have to say, I hope this is the return to the age of excellent Australian ads, because it's a bit cheeky in many ways. Oh God, now I'm going silly, and I really hope my partner isn't watching. But yeah, great ad. That's the end.
But also, if you are watching and you find a giant snake in your backyard, don't just strip down to your underpants. Expecting that's how you get rid of it.
Yes.
Robert is a trained and very hot professional.
And we're told no animals were injured in the making of that commercial.
I don't care.
No, but
I don't care if they squashed 6 spiders. It looks great. And you look great, my friend.
He does. Well, 2 more of today's top stories now. Tony Mockbell, one of Victoria's most notorious criminals, is tonight a free man. The 59-year-old was granted bail under strict conditions as he fights to have his drug convictions quashed because of the Lawyer X scandal. It's his first taste of freedom in almost 18 years. His sister put up the $1 million to help secure his release.
Given the decision today and the comments as part of the decision, I'd be very surprised if Tony Mockbell is not successful in his appeal and walks free for good.
An urgent security review is underway at the MCG after 2 men were arrested and charged with smuggling firearms into last night's Collingwood Carlton blockbuster. It's been confirmed the ground's powerful new AI scanners did detect 2 guns, one of which was loaded, but MCG security staff failed to do a follow-up search.
It's concerning for all Victorians that people can enter the heart of the sporting precinct of the MCG with firearms, and that's not acceptable.
Are influencers going too far for content? First, it was the baby wombat snatcher. Now, an American YouTuber's been arrested for visiting the restricted North Sentinel Island in the Bay of Bengal. The remote island is home to a tribe untouched by the modern world. The YouTuber left behind a coconut and a can of Diet Coke. Was that yours, Susie? His bid to make contact's been described as reckless and idiotic. Aussie F1 rookie Jack Doohan has crashed hard during the second practice session for the Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka. He hit the wall at turn 1 on his 4th lap of the session at about 300 kilometres per hour. It appears the car bottomed out coming into the corner. Doohan is okay, thankfully. Oscar Piastri was fastest in practice.
Oh no.
Dang.
That's got to hurt.
Because when the vision's glitching, there's part of you going, maybe it just stops before he hits the wall. And then you realise actual real life.
I'm glad he's okay because he has been under so much pressure too. You know, he crashed in Melbourne, came 15th, I think, over in Japan. So, yeah.
That's one of the very terrifying parts of the job that you don't really think about too much until it happens, which I guess is part of what they need to be doing on a constant basis.
Don't show it again.
Yeah. I hope it doesn't.
Don't pause! Well, look, another terrifying news. While many are talking about Trump's tariffs like they're the end of the world, some Aussie islands at the end of the world have been targeted. So just what did they do to get on the bad side of the Don?
Like every other place in the world, the Heard and McDonald Islands lie north of Antarctica. Here, penguins busily prepare eggs for the lucrative US market, concerned about the effect of Donald Trump's import tariffs.
Obviously, we're worried about the economic fallout, but this is not a black and white issue.
Sorry. When Donald Trump made good on his promise to tariff everybody on the planet, not even these remote islands, home to penguins and seals, but no people, were left out.
I think we're very worried about the penguins getting an advantage on us in trade.
What Trump is doing is taxing penguins, not Putin.
Which is weird, because I understood Trump loved bowing down to emperors. Biting satire!
The Heard and McDonald Islands are part of Australia, and no one can quite figure out why they were singled out in Trump's list, especially the McDonald Islands.
I love McDonald's.
Although one fishy theory is that it's because America imports the Patagonian toothfish and mackerel icefish, both of which are caught around those islands. But there's no such explanation for another Australian territory, Norfolk Island, a place with humans but no exports, bizarrely whacked with a whopping 29% tariff.
I'm not sure what Norfolk Island major exports are to the United States and why it's been singled out.
Why was this Pacific Island nation with a population of just over 2,000 people one of the hardest hit territories? The US initially said it was in response to Norfolk's 58% tariff on American products, which, like Donald's numerous golfing championship wins at clubs he owns, doesn't seem plausible.
That suggests to me that the whole process here has been rushed.
But what at first seemed inexplicable was soon explicit. Late today, The Guardian revealed mislabelled shipments were the cause, in some cases because the point of origin was Norfolk in the UK or the destination was Norfolk, Virginia.
Very simple.
The US has quietly dropped the island down to 10%, leaving many world leaders convinced this entire tariff business was implemented with very little thought.
This whole thing is so stupid. It's like a leopard seal came up with it. But you can't say that anymore because woke.
Well, George Plant is the administrator of Norfolk Island and joins us now. And George, what did you do to get on the wrong side of Donald Trump? What exactly do you export?
Well, mystery to us all here. We woke up yesterday and found that we're in the sights of the American president, and we were all left scratching our heads.
So you're dumbfounded. Is this going to hurt you at all? And are you enjoying all this publicity that you're getting as a result of it?
Well, you know, I was pretty sure that we weren't exporting anything to the United States, so I had to ring around and it's been confirmed that we don't. So I don't think it's going to hurt us at all. In terms of the publicity, yeah, well, that's certainly a lot of people have contacted us in the last 24 hours and said exactly what's happening on our very small but beautiful island. And I've gone back and said the only export we have from here is people who come to visit and go away happy.
Yeah, no shade, because I look behind you and the shelves are literally bare. Is there anything you could export from the island?
Yeah, that's my bookcase, but...
Wow, the tariffs have hit you hard, mate.
The tariffs have hit hard. That's more to do with shipping rather than anything to do with trade wars. But, yeah, the islands had a history of exporting agricultural products going back 100 years, where bananas and bean seeds and things like that. But we're a very, very small place. We're only 8 by 5 kilometres. So, you know, it has to be a very small niche market for us to do anything in.
Well, it seems a few hours ago it was reported that the possible reason behind all of this was mislabelled shipments, your island being confused with other Norfolks in the US and the UK. Does that make you feel better or worse that you don't have your own identity?
Well, it makes it more understandable, but I guess the thing that makes us all scratch our heads is how come mistakes like that can go to the highest office in the United States. I mean, that's a worry.
George, how have the residents of the island reacted to suddenly being in the global spotlight?
Well, most of the people that I've been speaking to are confused and amused by it because it's something that it was definitely from left field. And, yeah, it's a shock. It's a shock for us. But we're pretty confident that it's a mistake and it'll have no lasting impact to us apart from maybe attracting a few visitors from America.
All right, George. Well, enjoy the influx of tourists that no doubt will be coming your way. We thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Stick tight, there's more project on the way. I mean, we're barely halfway through. It would make no sense. Stick around.
This is the project.
A press conference was held this morning about new housing in Australia. And look, I'm no expert, but I don't think this woman has ever seen or used a microphone before.
Good morning.
She made sound come out through the magic stick. But look, I don't blame her because after watching the rest of this, I reckon that microphone might have actually been drinking.
Nick Champion in a moment. But one of the things I really want Lou's local community, and I'm really, really proud to be here today. She's just popped back inside, whose lives have been changed by our investments. We're on a pathway.
That's just the way it's got to be, right? Just like, "Ooh, what is this?" Oh, we've all been there. We've all been there.
You'd be a bit deflated
Hey, look,
after all of that, wouldn't you?
You would. Absolutely,
yeah.
you would. Election season. You're no dummy. It's been in full swing. And although today Albo enjoyed a bit of a bump in the polls, critics are saying that the Coalition's campaign is very light on details and is actually yet to get properly cranked up. And I don't think Dutton's helping with comments like this.
Well, I don't think you've seen anything yet. I think wait until we get into this campaign and you see more of what we've got to offer.
Yeah, just wait. And then you'll see. Just wait. You don't even know me. You're not my real dad. Anyway, so today, to clear all things up, the Shadow Assistant Minister for Damage Control held a press conference. We have the exclusive.
Do you feel week one has gone well?
Yes, I would say well. I would say very well, if that's better than well, because, well, it's been super welly well. Could you define well?
Hello, how are you?
Hello, Peter. How are you?
Your gas energy policy, why haven't you released your modelling?
Yeah, modelling. Well, modelling's hard. 14-year-old me should know. You've got to move, you've got to think, you've got to dress. Walking around on a stage can be difficult. I think the PM can attest to that. But also thoughts and prayers.
Is the Coalition just copying the policies of Trump and Elon Musk?
No, I wouldn't say that. I'd say there's no connection at all, actually. Oh. It's a banger. This goes off in cabinet meetings.
Prime Minister hasn't been able to get a call or a meeting with President Trump. I do believe that we could have achieved a different outcome.
Dutton yesterday said he could have done better negotiating with Trump on tariffs. How?
He would have challenged him to a round of mini golf. So I don't know if everyone knows this, but Peter Dutton is actually an anagram of noted putter. And if you don't know that, well, you should.
Are you calling on nuclear?
Not calling on anything, no, and I reject the idea that there's been any negative fallout from the energy policy. Oh, don't say fallout. Never say fallout.
A Dutton photo op this week had him sitting in a car that wouldn't start. Is this a metaphor for the campaign?
No, he just can't drive manual.
So how are you going to get your party started?
Get the party started like this, hit it. Oh, there he goes. Can't help myself.
Look, I don't know who she is, but she's beautiful.
I hate to say it, maybe she should be running things.
Yeah, vote one, Susie Youssef.
Well,
whoever she is.
Sharon, what are you talking
Sharon, you're spoiling television. Is television still okay? Oh, my gosh. It should be telling me it's all written on that screen for us. Can you read that for me, please?
I can. More news on the lifestyle entrepreneur, businesswoman and TV personality Martha Stewart is headed down under. She's coming to Sydney next month to host an exclusive event at Vivid. She'll be talking about her 4-decade career and how she created her personal brand. There's no word on whether her mate Snoop Dogg will be with her.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Tickets for the one-off conversation event are now on sale.
2 tickets, please.
And a hawk that's been terrorising the English town of Flamstead for weeks has finally been caught. Dozens of people, tall men in particular, reported being swooped. Some were left bleeding. One even needed hospital treatment. Locals took matters into their own hands, wearing helmets and boxers for protection, as you do. But finally, one resident managed to catch the hawk, which has since been relocated.
Thank goodness, because my partner, who is a 6'4" man, and I will be going to Flamstead at some point, I'm sure. Maybe not now, actually.
Because he'd have to wear one of those boxes on his head
It'd
otherwise.
still look great.
Yeah. That's why I've been box-free for years.
Well, breaking into the music scene is tough these days, but our next guest is quickly making his mark. Irish singer Darren Kiely is being tipped as the next Ed Sheeran, and he's on his first Australian tour.
But something's gotta break, something's gotta give. I hope it ain't my heart, it cannot be my will. I'm going to find a place, all that I desire. If it's the last road that I take, till I'm burning in the fire, I'm going to find that sunrise.
Well, please welcome Darren Kiely. Well, Well, Darren, you just landed in Australia hours ago, I understand. Is it everything you thought it was amidst all the jet lag?
It's amazing. We got in at midnight, so we're just kind of catching sleep when we can get it. But we're delighted to be here.
What was your expectation before you got here? What did you build up in your head?
I thought the flight was going to be more grim than it was.
Yeah, because you're flying in like a private jet because you're famous now.
Yeah, it's changed a little bit. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. But no, it's beautiful. Everybody's so calm here, you know.
I thought you said camp, but you mean calm. Yeah?
Calm.
Yes.
Calm. CALM.
But also you're sitting next to Rove McManus, so both apply. That's
fresh.
But everyone, we've been listening to your music all day, Darren. Absolutely loving it. You are being talked about as the next Ed Sheeran. How does that feel?
I'm like, I'm a little bit off. I mean, obviously that was one of the inspirations when I was growing up as someone who plays guitar. That was the first guitar I got, was like a little mini Ed Sheeran one. Everyone wanted to be Ed Sheeran growing up, so lovely to be mentioned. But I think I've a ways to go. Yeah.
Do they run that past you when the record company's going, "Hey, here's a great slogan"? Do you read about it first, or has someone run it past you?
That's the first I'm hearing of it, honestly. So, yeah.
Run with it. Run with it. It's really good.
I swear I didn't write it myself. Yeah.
So take us through how it all started. We're hearing a story about you growing up in Cork. You moved to New York. Then what happens?
I was kind of working a day job, playing in mostly Irish bars, trying to write music and record music, and then I just started putting out music really from about 2.5, 3 years ago, and then yeah.
So that must be a big choice to make, to move to a foreign country like that in the hope of making it big and having it pay off.
Yeah, I think honestly it gives you kind of a clean slate. When I didn't do music all the time growing up, so it kind of was like, all right, I'm a new person. Something about America was kind of exciting. A lot of Irish people, like, they come here, you know, maybe loads of them, but they go to America too, and there's something inspiring about that. So I was like, right, clean slate, you know, new place, and see what happens.
But Darren, you are going to be massive. Like, you are on the brink of this huge career. You're already so loved. You do come from beautiful Cork. Now, the last time I was in Cork, I think I was eating from Abracababba on Patrick Street, which I'll never forget. And that is grim to remember, actually.
There's better cuisine than that. Yeah.
That got an oof.
Yeah.
He's made an assumption about me now, which is correct.
I'll give you recommendations.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
But how does your family and all the people back home, like, what are they saying to you as you go through this incredible journey?
I think they're just excited. Like, you know, they're at, when we just played in Ireland a few weeks ago, they're at every show, really, travelling around, and just kind of, I mean, it's also so new to all of us that we're just trying to kind of soak it in, but it's passing so fast, you know. But they're taking in, I'd say, more of a whirlwind than I am, to be honest, yeah.
Now, we feel that we should prove to everybody just why you are going to be the next Ed Sheeran, and put no pressure on you by making you sing live for us right now. Would you be up for that?
No pressure. Yeah, let's do it.
I don't know.
Thank you.
I'll be the friend of yours. I don't even know if you have time to tune this up.
Let's see. The voice or the guitar?
Good luck.
Without you, I have no home. And without you, I'm skin and bones. And I'll never not want you, never not need you, never not feel you close. And I'll never not love you, never not see you, never not miss you most.
Oh, yeah. You got the gig.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm pulling it. He's the next Darren Kiely, this guy. You can snap up the few remaining tickets to Darren's show now. The details are on our website. Please thank Darren Kiely. Will you come back again even when you get super famous?
I'd love to.
I'm holding you to that. Yeah. I'm holding you to that.
Please do. You're watching The Project. Back after this. Is The Project.
Having performed to sell-out crowds last year, Sooshi Mango are again taking their homemade tour back on the road for a very special encore run. To tell us more, thankfully, we have them here. Please welcome Sooshi Mango's Joe Cullen. I feel like it's been ages.
So long.
We've missed you.
I should bring my guitar out and start playing something.
Like, if someone said to me, hey, could you just suddenly come up with some jokes to take us to the break, I'd shit my pants. Go. Off you go.
Well, I want to put it out there straight away, guys, just so everyone knows. Where's my camera? This is breaking news.
Here we go.
We are the new Bonds. Right? Forget about Rob. All right?
Good to see you.
We've just signed a contract, but we're using salamis and meatballs. All right? No snake.
Now, last time we spoke, you were about to jump into being the Moomba Monarchs.
Yeah.
Yep.
For the Moomba Festival in Melbourne. How was it? You get the big parade. It has been shut down before for weather. How was it for you guys?
Well, there you go.
It was hot, but we didn't get paid, which is crap.
Okay.
We didn't get paid. But the honour was incredible. It was a great day. It was very hot. Everyone was in good spirits, and we had a really, really good time.
And look at those sweat patches under my arms. They were just fantastic.
But you get them normally anyway, so it's fine.
And we talked about the Birdman rally, which of course is you're diving off the platform into the Yarra. Did you partake? How did it go? What was your design?
Yes, normal people draw straws. We drew salamis. I got the short salami, so I jumped off.
Right.
It was good. There it is.
Is that your salami?
It was a salami. It was straight in.
Yeah.
We went to the best engineers and they built me a craft that was probably about as aerodynamic as a Land Cruiser. That's we got there.
Being in the Yarra is the most dangerous part of that.
No, it was fun. It was fun for us because he did it.
By the way, the Yarra water is perfectly safe. The elbow in the back of my head was there before the jump.
Now, I understand you're taking your homemade tour on the road again. Tickets are selling out. People are buying tickets everywhere. That must make you feel really good too.
Yeah, it makes us feel good because we've got a big tax bill to pay. So please come and buy a ticket to the show. No, it's good. We had a great success last year and we had huge demand. So we're doing more shows around the country and it's been great. Yeah.
Obviously, you are amazing at imitating your nonnas, and we all mine our families for jokes and stuff like that. I used to speak a lot about my grandmother, God rest her soul. I am a little bit terrified now that she's going to haunt me for the rest of my life. Do you ever get any kind of fallout from your family for doing stuff?
What's that, Nonna?
Oh, no. No.
Tell her to shut up. Just shut up, please.
Just a bit of this.
No, not at all. They love it. They actually they're really supportive. They're great.
They don't know what's going on.
Correct.
All right, that's the.
Okay.
They got no idea what
you're showing off at this point. Do they want to adopt a small Lebanese woman at this point?
Why not?
Now, the election is coming up. I understand last time you interviewed Scott Morrison. Have you put a call out this time to Albo or Dutton?
Oh, yeah. Well, the Elbow story.
Well, there's a story. We interviewed Scott Morrison as the ethnic dads. Mm-hmm. By 12 o'clock that day, we got a message from Albo.
Interesting.
4 years ago.
4 years ago, whatever it was. Yeah. And we were on tour. We couldn't do it, you see. So we said, listen, we'll do the tour.
Did he want in?
He wanted
in. They contacted us.
Wanted the Sooshi Mango rub.
They wanted to get on this train, you know what I'm saying? But by the time we could do it, he'd won the election. He was like, hey, we're like, hey, can we do the tour, do the interview? And he's like, hey, yeah, no, we don't need you. I'll see you later.
Oh, really?
So we've got a little bit of a bone to pick with Albo.
Yeah.
And look, yeah, it is what it is, I guess.
But if they call up, will you do it?
No dice, Chino. You're not jumping on this train now.
I'm going to put it out there. Do you think you have the power to sway an election?
Yeah, the other way.
It is. The wrong way.
If you want to lose, get him to do it by us. But,
No, we're not politicians, but whoever gets in, let's bring interest rates down, let's cut taxes and give us free stuff. Come on!
All my friends.
Tickets to Sooshi Mango's homemade tour are available now. Head to our website for details. Please thank Joe, Carlo and Andrew.
See you in 2 weeks. That's it for tonight. Thank you, Sharon Gadella. Thank you, Susie Youssef. See you around.